These are the latest pictures that we are receiving after a jet carrying 60 passengers and 4 crew members has collided with an Army helicopter while landing at Ronald Reagan National Airport near Washington. There's a large-scale search and rescue operation underway in the nearby Potomac River. 4 people, we're told, have been pulled from the waters, the icy waters, alive. Many others are still being searched for. Divers are involved. We are told that, sadly, 18 bodies have been pulled from the river so far. President Donald Trump has said he has been fully briefed on this terrible accident and said, may God bless their souls for those on board. Mark, what on earth happened?
Well, we're in the very, very early stages of the investigation at the moment. We're expecting a news conference, Kay, in the next 15 minutes. I'm standing just outside the perimeter fence of DCA, as it's known, Washington Reagan Airport. It is the smaller of the 2 airports here in Washington, D.C. Washington Dulles is the larger one. Reagan is largely a domestic hub for flights right across the United States. And it was shortly before 9 o'clock this evening when an American Airlines flight from Wichita in Kansas was making its approach to land here at DCA when it collided with a U.S. Army Black Hawk helicopter. The helicopter was flying north to south. The commercial jet was going south to north as it came into land on runway 32 here at Reagan Airport when the collision happened at very, very low altitude. There is a video that was captured from a building not far from here, a CCTV image, which shows the impact, a large explosion mid-air, and it is from that, and it is underneath where that explosion took place, that you can see now these multitude of rescue crews on the eastern bank of the Potomac River trying to carry out what will be a very, very complex rescue indeed. We understand that the Bombardier aircraft is in 2 pieces. It is lying in relatively shallow water, which I suppose is some hope for the rescue teams as they try to recover and to rescue the 60 passengers who were on board, 4 crew on board. The Black Hawk helicopter was on a training mission, we understand, Kay, when it collided with the plane. 3 U.S. military crew on board that helicopter.
OK, I'm just reading more information, I think, from the AP news agency, going into a little bit more detail about what happened in the seconds before this crash, Mark. It says, a few moments before landing, air traffic controllers asked the arriving commercial jet if it could land on the shorter runway 33 at Reagan National, and the pilots said they were able to. Controllers then cleared the plane to land on runway 33. Flight tracking sites showed the plane adjusted its approach to the new runway. Less than 30 seconds before the crash, an air traffic controller asked the helicopter if it had the arriving plane in sight. The controller made another radio call to the helicopter moments later, saying, pass behind the jet, pass behind the jet. Seconds after that, the 2 aircraft collided. Both aircraft, we believe, are now upside down, I think I'm right in saying, Mark, in the Potomac.
Yes, and it is extremely cold here tonight. It has been much, much colder over the course of the past week, and the Potomac has been ice for quite a few days now. And so you can just imagine how cold that water is, how cold it is for any survivors and for the divers who are currently there trying to locate them. I can tell you too, Kay, now that we have had a statement from Robert Isom, who is the CEO, Robert Ensign, I should say, of the CEO of American Airlines. He says, I want to brief you on a serious accident that occurred involving an American Eagle aircraft. The aircraft was operated by PSA Airlines, which is wholly owned a wholly owned subsidiary of American Airlines. And he goes on to say, first and foremost, I'd like to express our deep sorrow about these events. This is a difficult day for all of us at American Airlines, and our efforts are now focused entirely on the needs of our passengers, crew members, partners, first responders, along with their families and loved ones. He says, I know there are many questions, and at this early stage, I'm not able to answer them all, but I do want to share the information that I have at this time. He confirms the aircraft, it was a CRJ 700 aircraft, as we know, traveling from Wichita, Kansas to Reagan National when it was involved in the incident. And he says that it appears to have collided with a military aircraft as it was approaching the runway. So more detail there from the CEO of American Airlines. We know too that CBS News here in the United States is reporting that 18 bodies have now been recovered. So just awful news there. The US President Donald Trump, he has released a statement where he is saying that his God bless their souls. He said he's being kept up to date on all the latest from the authorities